back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals, los grand finales here of the WardiTV Monday number 84. Again, we're here with a catch-up stream as we have allowed the WardiTV Mondays to fall by the wayside a little bit. So we have a lot of catching up to do, and we are here in our final series. It's going to be best of five here between MaxPax and Clem. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss player himself. We have the Danish Protoss representing Samsung Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran for Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. And this is a bit of a rarer sight nowadays. Okay, Clem versus MaxPax. For those that were around, especially during the COVID era of StarCraft, and even just a couple of years ago, 2023, 2024, Clem and MaxPax, they were very often facing off against each other. Like, they were these two players facing off in all the online open tournaments. They have a long history with each other, but coming into 2025 and especially in 2026, it has been rarer and rarer to see them play against each other. MaxPax has had a bit of a harder year this time, especially in regards to PvP, which often means that instead the finals are Clem versus Classic or Clem versus Hero, more so than Clem versus MaxPax. This is a rivalry that is a bit of an older rivalry that does not hold as much weight in this year, in current StarCraft, which is a bit of a shame. Like, we just haven't seen these two play as often this year as we used to. So I'm ready, I'm excited. Curious to see how they compare to each other. Let's go. Let us go. As Clem does open up with an eBay block, moves out to delay the third base, but too late to do so. MaxPax, he will get his natural base up and running. For those who are curious, specifically on Winter Madness, you can force out the low ground third expansion if you can get your SCV in position in time, but Clem was late to do so. Or he just didn't make it in time. Did not make it. So not the worst case scenario here for MaxPax, as he can now expand, he can now set up and settle in. It's still an awkward setup, for sure. Still going to be awkward, as he's forced to expand on the low ground at the third base. And from here, we're going for double gas. So Clem, he was that much more dedicated here. Double gas follow up into a faster factory, opening up with Reaper Hellion. Clem is looking for damage. He's looking. Clem is building up. Behind this, Twilight Council is on the way. Standard follow-up here by MaxPax. I say standard, it's not uncommon for players to open up Stargate in this position, just because the Oracle can maneuver between the bases defensively a little bit easier, between your main and your unnatural natural. But here MaxPax playing Blink. Does play Blink instead. Waiting for an extra wave. Okay, so it's going to be 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. The goal here should be economic damage. The goal is to dive into the mineral line and to roast up some probes. Thankfully, we have a battery in position. Stalkers on patrol. Clem, where we headed? Oh, does catch a Stalker. Does try to, at least. One of the Hellions was already low. Oh, one Hellion goes down already. Trades for a Stalker. Better trade for Clem. Does get the better trade. Busting into the main. Probe's going to be going down. How many, though? Sapphire gets 1, gets 2. And 2 probes going down. Now rotating back over towards the natural. Thankfully, there is that battery in position. Battery's helping. And MaxPax holds. And MaxPax does hold on. Deflects the army, and this is not too bad. Only 2 probe kills. Only 2 workers, so MaxPax holds well. Behind this, going for extra. Oh my god! MaxPax, he wants to try to punish here. Okay, I mean, it was a double gas opener. MaxPax going for 2 extra gateways, 2 already done, going in a 4-gate Blink Stalker. So hyper aggression by MaxPax. If you remember, we saw this build out of Classic in the last game that we covered between himself and Clem, and we have to reiterate that if you fail to do damage with this, then you will fall behind. Like, this is very dedicated play here from MaxPax. Not an all-in, but still needs to find some damage. That's Clem, he be dropping. This shop actually gets a full scout of the main, and he sees everything. He does confirm all 4 gateways. So massive scout from Clem. Drop comes in. There was an opportunity there. Gets one probe. Gets one. Does a nice mining. Jesus. And finally gets 2 probes. 3 in total. 3 probes in total. Back at home, Clem, he counted all the gateways and he should be setting up defensively. As MaxPax is going for the counterattack. Prisma's out. Here comes MaxPax. And Clem, so far, he's got a second tank on the way. There's that second bunker. It's going to be close. We'll see if we can pull the boys in time to repair, assuming that the MaxPax hits the natural. Because here he comes. And here comes a 4-gate blink. MaxPax is committed. He's diving into natural. Boys are pulled. Yeah, the boys are pulled. Mass repair. The first tank is going to go down. Yeah, breaks through the tank. Auto charge does help. Takes down the prism. Okay. Denies high ground vision. But he gets into the middle line. Yeah, Max actually blinks into the middle line as well. There was only the one tank. The other was further back. The Stalkers are eventually going to be forced out, but they get so much damage here. 8 SCVs, 9, 10 worker kills. Oof. Yeah, 10 SCVs going down, and Stalkers do get away. What were the losses? 6 Stalkers and a War Prism. So a back and forth trade. Even got the Raven actually. Yeah, the Raven went down as well. Back into the main base, catching more reinforcements. Getting more SCVs. And Clem is being broken. That's another 4, another 5 SCV kills. MaxPax going back to his roots. True. If you remember a couple of years ago, I say a couple, 6 years ago at this point. Not that long, like 4 or 5 years ago. MaxPax, he was known for 4-gate blink Stalker. That's all that he would do in TvP. True. That's all he did. And he would win. I'm thinking during like the Gressvan map pool, that would have been what, 2022-ish? 2022. But with that, 7 SCVs. 7 SCVs going down, the tank, the bunker, or the tank, the Raven, I should say. Back at home, MaxPax getting miles ahead economically, up to 3 base saturation. And Clem is still stumbling his way into the mid game. Stumbling. And at this point, Clem, most likely, I mean, we got to pull the boys, right? Like, there's no macroing out of this. It's just too many losses already. Clem, he commits. Yep, the boys are being pulled. As they get pulled, MaxPax does confirm. It's the only option here for Clem. He is forced into the all-in. And back at home, what do we have to work with? There's going to be 1 Colossus. There's going to be 1 Colossus to defend, extra war pins. Stalkers, they tried to delay. I mean, that is a heavy Marauder count. Clem, he can pull this off. He can do it. Oof. Northwood force field. Okay. Tanks do siege. Not enough Stalkers. Tanks, they're getting within range, and the Stalkers are being zoned away. And they get forced back. Sentry goes down. Zealots are racing back. And Clem, he gets within range of the 3rd. MaxPax is in trouble. Yeah, he's in trouble here. Sentries get targeted down. Nice target firing here on the Stalkers. Those 2 tanks doing so much of the back line. Yeah, getting far too much done here. The 3rd is being broken. So far, good damage out of Clem, but he has to keep going. Remember, this is not good enough. He has to keep going. Oh no, the Zealots, they come in from behind. They finally get on top of the tanks, and both tanks do go down. That was the backbone of the army. That's all that Clem had left. It was close. Clem, he did do a lot of damage, but this is not good enough. He's still on 26 SCVs. And GG. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and MaxPax, he will claim game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax, it does take a lead in the series. As we mentioned, Clem, he was forced into the all-in. He sustained so much damage from the 4-Gatling Stalker. Clem was not ready for it. He did pre-pull the boys to protect the bunker at least, but the tank was exposed, got targeted down, busted into the mineral line. GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax takes the lead in the series, and we'll see if Clem can recover and make a series out of this. Let's go. Let us go as we're loading into White Rabbit. This 2020 was last year, right? Smurge. All in mention. Take a swig. I mean, that wasn't all in. What do you want from me? No. True. It was a timing attack. Now RSL is over. We're unbound. We can say what it is. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Storm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. But yeah, it's so brutal talking about StarCraft just because, like, in the sense of when referring to the COVID era, like in my brain, the COVID era of StarCraft was still like recent, but no, it's no. There are even some people that are a little bit newer that are watching StarCraft that weren't around for that. Not like this. Smurge. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2. Whew. And we'll see how Clem does open up here. This time, there's no eBay block. There's no block across the map. There's no disruption of the opener. This time, we're settling in. Bearing in mind that something that triggered MaxPax to be as aggressive as he was the Reaper Hellion. Once again, double gas opener at a Clem. Once again, opening up with a faster factory. Oh, he looks in the probe. Now this can once again lead into Reactor Reaper or into Reaper Hellion. This can lead into committed mine drop play, can lead into early Banshee play, which used to be a little bit more popular, but nowadays is a little bit more niche. Cloak Banshee, Speed Banshee, early Cyclone drop, early tank push. We'll see. Show us what you got. Technically, it was before when you were describing how it wasn't all in and still said all in. There you go. There you go, Pappy. There you go. Oh, right. You're talking about 4-gate blink. Yeah. That 4-gate blink isn't an all in, and it wasn't, but did force Clem into an all in, for sure. I remember. For now, Twilight Count's opener. Twilight Count's opener to MaxPax. So far, so good. And we'll keep an eye on the gateways. Here, we should be calming things down here. We're loading into a larger map as well. Longer rush distance by ground. It can be difficult to defend on White Rabbits. We do bring this up quite often here, but the bases are very spread out. So whoever's the aggressor, whoever has momentum, does have a bit of a better advantage here on White Rabbits, as we do throw down an extra gateway. So far, we're getting up to 3. 3 gates have been set up. From here, we're expecting a robo. Should be calming down. Likewise, Clem going for a zone drop across the map. We did mention earlier that with the double gas opener, this can lead into early Cyclone, and it is going to be for the early Cyclone drop. This is just to apply some pressure to maybe catch a couple of stray units. Third base hasn't spotted, and can we force a cancel? Can we catch a Stalker? Oh, nice lock on. Reaper still goes down, but the Stalker will fall, and we get on top of the third base. And third taking a lot of hits. MaxPax has to fight for it. Up does not break the lock on. Sentry goes down as well. Nice juggling. Okay, Clem, calm down. A juggles well. Avoids 2 shots already. Very nice. Bearing in mind that Stalker shots are projectiles and you can dodge them. It's possible. But not enough. Yeah, it does not have enough. The third base is still going to be saved. But did catch a Stalker and a Sentry. Not bad. Stalker, Sentry, didn't lose anything behind this. Going into, as I mentioned at the start of the game, Cloak Banshee. We have been seeing, or we did see a rise in popularity of Speed Banshee instead, just because it's very common for Protoss players to have detection at this stage of the game. You can see that the Robo is on the way for the Observer, but despite that, there's still a chance that the first Observer goes across the map, and that there is an opening for a Cloak Banshee to find some damage. There is still a chance of that. As Clem is not stopping. Clem, he's now going to be reinforcing. He retained that Cyclone from early on. Now we have a tank as well, alongside the eventual Banshee reinforcing as well. Clem being hyper aggressive early on, and we'll see if he can catch out these Stalkers. Banshee from behind. Gets one, gets 2 probes. Army moves in. Getting on top of the Sentry. Nice pickup. No detection. Yeah, no detection. The Observer was with the main army on the left-hand side. Was at the natural. And tank is within range. Yeah, tank is within range. We have to blink in, and does dive on top of the tank. Will sustain some losses though, losing 1, 2, losing up to 3 Stalkers. Yeah, 3, 4 Stalkers. Nice snipe on the Observer. No detection. The Banshee. They're popping up. And Clem has done it. Clem, he has broken MaxPax. Cheeky moves with the Banshee, sniping the Observer as well. 0 detection. Non-stop aggression out of Clem. And he has broken MaxPax. As the Observer now moves in, but there's only 3 Stalkers left. Only 3 Stalkers. And we will not enter the mid-game. GG gets called, and Clem ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, very cheeky play there out of Clem, sniping the Observer, bringing it down, but also, again, non-stop aggression either. With his double gas opener in game 1, he went into committed Reaper Hellion. This time, went into early Cyclone drop, into tank push across the map. Very, very dedicated play there by Clem, but he slowly snowballed out of control. Each time he pushed in, he was able to get a Sentry, get a Stalker, and it slowly did add up over time. GG. GG, well played. And will we ever get up to like 3-base saturation? Is that ever going to happen this series? I don't think so. We'll see. We'll see. As up next, we're loading into the Old Republic. We're tied up 1-1. Vamonos. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the red Protoss player representing Samsung Gaming from the land of Denmark, being forced into a tied series. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, moving out with the early SCV, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran for Team Liquid. It is Clem. We do head across the map, and once again going for the block. So it's setting up for the eBay block. We saw that it was somewhat successful in game 1, but in the end, MaxPax was able to be the aggressor instead. Here, my apologies, no eBay block. We actually hide behind the gases. Specifically here on the Old Republic, we do have extra space behind the natural, and we are going straight for the proxy racks into Bunker Rush. So I'm much more dedicated here out of Clem. Very, very cheeky, and we'll see what he can get done here. The goal would be to delay the economy. Delay the economy, get some economic damage done, and keep MaxPax on a 1-base economy for longer than usual, and even force a reaction and force a response. So far unscattered. Now MaxPax, by moving up the ramp, he will confirm that the Rax is missing. Rax is nowhere to be found. It could be further back in the main base, it could be at the natural, it could be at the third. It is not uncommon for Terran players to hide their Rax closer on their side of the map just to force an overreaction. We know that it's not a fake out, but MaxPax still has to piece it together. As MaxPax, see, there we go, there's that Bunker Rush, he knows. And then MaxPax is aware. Bunker's revealed. There's that pylon. The pylon is for the battery. The battery is ideal to deal with this. And thankfully the pylon is out of range of the bunker as well. Is out of range. Oh, the SCV taking a lot of damage. Jesus. Takes a surprising amount of damage early on. Stalker's on the way. There's that battery. Toss up into the main. Has potential. Boys are being pulled. Is on MaxPax to minimize losses. Nice round. No, he gets surrounded. Oh, that should not have happened. The first Reaper goes down. Clem with some miscontrol cancels the bunker, and this has been shut down completely. We can even just cancel the battery, actually. We can... Oh, good. The battery is going to finish. Clem getting surrounded was brutal, and with that, MaxPax, yeah, he just moves out. He just moves out across the map. Fun fact, there's nothing at home. Because the proxy, the Rax is in the natural, so there's nothing back at home to defend. We're even going for the add-on first. I mean, we have to for the Cyclone. Stalker's coming. SCVs are going to start going down. Oof. Yeah, boys are being pulled. We're going to lose the GG. There's nothing. There's nothing to defend. GG, and MaxPax, he takes a 2-1 lead in the series. Ay, ay, ay. To commit to a proxy and to lose your first Reaper to get surrounded, that's game. Like, that's game then and there, because your production is non-existent. You have no production, you have nothing to make, you have nothing to build, you only have workers, and MaxPax, he was so quick to just move across the map to identify that, like, hey, I don't need to stay at home. I don't need to be back. GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax takes a 2-1 lead in the series. He needs one more game to claim the series. Oh boy. As up next, we're loading into Tourmaline. We go from some of the larger maps now to a smaller map of the map pool. Smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here on Tourmaline, and we're expecting aggression, as again, we have not embraced the mid-game at all this series, and I don't expect to. But let's find out. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Slashstorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player, the blue Terran. For Team Liquid, it is Clem. Meanwhile, a big shout to Psycons in the chat. God, thank you for the bits. Thank you so much for the bits. We appreciate it, Pappy. We appreciate it. Gracias. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. As we are opening up, MaxPax needs one more game to claim the series, and this time Clem keeps his workers back at home. For the past couple of games, we've been seeing some eBay blocks or some bunker rushes behind the mineral line. This time the Rax is at home. MaxPax, he moves out. He did just check the proxy location on the right hand side first before moving out. Just playing it safe. As this time it is going to be a standard open out to Clem, single gas, so Rax expand. And MaxPax should confirm. Picks up the ramp. Can try to delay the CC. Opening up Zealot for... Okay, there we go. I was a little bit confused. Does cancel the Zealot, so he did have it in production just in case he would need it. Confirming that there is no proxy. So MaxPax able to expand, and Clem, he should be able to as well, as this is a big delay, getting up to 500 minerals. Oof. Yes, that was a good couple of seconds there delayed. Nice damage out of MaxPax. As he pulls away. It's moves like that that can get under your skin, and then that can influence you, especially based on how the series has been progressing and based on the no GG out of Clem last game. Like, it can get to you for sure. Hopefully we can lock in and force the ace match, regardless of how this goes. Give us a game 5, Pappy. True. Give us a game 5. As it is going to be the Twilight Council opener once again out of MaxPax every game so far. We have seen MaxPax mix up his openers with 3-gate blink, with 4-gate blink, earlier robos, later robos. I would assume, or I would suggest that on Tourmaline we'd be seeing a safer build here, or an aggressive one, either 3-gate blink and a robo, or 4-gate blink stalker. Safety bunker is done. Adepts say shade past, so they will not delay the CC. I mean, it already was delayed. Ooh, but will kill the worker though. Okay. Does get a worker kill. I mean, Clem just made a choice there, and it's understandable as the Reaper also goes down. Where Clem could have tried to save the SCV, but that would have delayed the orbital, and the orbital was already going to be delayed because of the later CC timing as well. So he had to make the choice. Behind this, going for his own 1-1-1. Oh, no mind drop, by the way. Going for the early tech lab into add-on swap. Okay. Looking like early Banshees. Cloak is being researched. A very dedicated here from Clem, very committed. We'll see if this goes unscouted. As he's rushing into Cloak Banshee. Behind this, we have 2 more gates on the way and the Robo, so a very safe play here by MaxPax. He will have detection. As I mentioned previously in the series, though, there is a chance, we mentioned on White Rabbit, that the Observer moves out across the map and that there won't be detection back at home. There's a chance. Otherwise, MaxPax does have the tools to defend. Does come down to his scouting, to his reactions. So far, just 3 gateways. He will apply some pressure. First Banshee moves out. And MaxPax, does he see this? Oh, barely not. Barely does miss the Banshee. He's not aware. And War Prism first, not Observer. Second bunker setting up on the low ground. Tank setting up in the main. Prism moves out, Observer's in production. And we'll see what Clem can get done. Banshee hits the main. Anti-shell probes. Getting 1, getting 2. Up to 3 probe kills. The Observer is going to be able to respond. 2 probes. Okay, 2 probes go down at the same time. MaxPax, he does get into the natural. Oh, he does bypass the bunkers. Goes straight for the SCVs. 4 workers going down. A better trade here for MaxPax. So far, a better trade. Oh, and he does snipe the Banshee. Ay. Banshee goes down. There's 1 more. There's 1 more Banshee, but the first one did not pay for itself. Only getting 2 probe kills. Bearing in mind the Cloak was also researched. So far, this is not worth it for Clem. He gets caught. No shot. He gets caught out, losing 2 Banshees for 2 probes. Ay. Again, it was very committed, very dedicated, and it was not worth it. Clem is not contained. And MaxPax, he can freely build up. Just freely build up his economy. Clem is going for a 3rd CC for the first time this series. True. Let's go. For the first time a 3rd CC. And to me, this tells me that Clem is probably going to turtle up. He's probably just going to try to turtle up here. He's had some rough losses. His stim is delayed. The upgrades are delayed because of the commitment into Banshees. But this is not an easy map to turtle on. So, winding it back, we did mention, of course, that this map favors aggression. Going further into it, it's very, very open here outside of the natural base, a very open area. Likewise, an open entrance into the 3rd base as well. It does favor the aggressor, as it is more difficult to defend without any choke points. Likewise, very direct and short rushes across the map. Very open area here in the center as well. So even if the plan is to turtle up, it is a very, very hard map to do so on. Not impossible, but it's going to be difficult. As MaxPax is just gaining map control. This 3rd base can be opened up even further by knocking down these rocks, just having a wider angle of attack. Going for the double drop. This is spotted. And MaxPax, he's not even behind, by the way, but anytime, Dark Shrine. Let's go. Let's... I do actually really like DTs in this position because Clem has had a really rocky start, and chances are he doesn't want to spend like energy on scans, right? The chances are he wants a mule. So DTs can be very annoying. Shop is spotted. Clem forced to back off. Where's the pull away? There are the mules. I bring that up just because the Dark Shrine is almost done. I believe there is no Raven. Yeah, there's no Raven here from Clem either. We currently have 0 scans. We're about to have 1 scan in the main. Clem is being forced back. Sorry, MaxPax being forced back. Clem does have a presence in the center. MaxPax is aware he has the Observer. And where the Dark Templar? Dark Shrine is done, but no DT Warp-ins yet. So MaxPax is holding off on it. He is holding off. Going into Blink, actually. Okay. Shadow Stride is being researched. Interesting. Double drop does break out. MaxPax did double expand, and I believe MaxPax, he didn't miss the double drop. Okay, Clem has potential. He has potential here. MaxPax diving in towards the third. Does unload. Do we get the warp in? I shouldn't be able to. Yeah, should not be able to at the same time. Does push in towards the natural, but is MaxPax overextending? Yeah, he's pushing to 3 tanks. He cannot break this. Not like this. Drop across the map as well, but we have a defensive warp in. And MaxPax, he does defend back at home. I say that this double drop is going to get a hand, and can he force a cancel? He can. Yeah, Clem will force a cancel. Nice pickup, nice damage. MaxPax, he races back home. And Clem, he's building up very nicely here. Despite the map control that MaxPax has had, he was trying to commit here into the third, but he was not able to. Right? He wasn't able to. He kind of missed his window. Clem is about to max out. Now he can break out across the map with a better army. You see the supply disparity here. MaxPax, he's banking up 1,000 minerals. Like, he's banking up a lot. He's he's been missing warp-ins. But I'm pretty sure he's missing them just because he was hoping he could warp into the main. I'm assuming he was like banking up that for that purpose. Now though, Clem, he has secured his third. True. He secured his third base. How many Vikings are we at? So far, 6. So the Viking count is still a little bit lacking. It's got a couple of ghosts. Clem is pushing through the center. Drop into the main base. Is going to be cleaned up. And the armies, they pass by each other here. MaxPax, he will miss this. He's stuck on the low ground. Stuck on the low ground, pushing up a ramp. Tanks will siege. Better fight for Clem. Yeah, much better fight. Cleans up all the zealots. Messy engaged here by MaxPax. Getting messy. Drop into the main. And it's getting out of hand. A probe's going down. A messy response. We're not quite paying attention. And Clem, can he siege up outside of the natural? He's out positioning. He's just out positioning MaxPax. He's just caught down, caught out of position. DTs, they try to harass. There was a scan. And these Colossus, they should be cleaned up. They're being focused down. Yeah, they're being focused down one after the other. All 3 Colossus fall. We need more Zealots more than anything. We need charge lots. They're now coming in, and MaxPax holds. Whew. It was a messy defense. It was messy. But MaxPax, he barely holds on. I say that, Clem is still rallying. MaxPax needs splash damage, making 2 Colossus at a time. Oh, switching disruptors. Okay. Does switch it up. Disruptors now on the way. But again, MaxPax, he failed to contain, right? He failed to contain Clem. Now we have a 4th base up and running. TT gets spotted. Disruptors have potential, but I would say Clem has more momentum here. He has much more momentum. He has a lot more to work with. Oof. In the end, the community DT just wasn't worth it. Jumping into more bases. DTs, they break through the bunker at least, but still no major damage. That's going to be 11 probes going down. Yeah, Liberator has arrived. So much damage. No reaction here by MaxPax. Losing his mineral line. And Clem has done it. At this point, Clem has done it. He has broken through. I was concerned that he wasn't going to be able to maintain his third, and MaxPax, he was setting up to break it, but again, that prison was shut down. There was no commitment out of MaxPax. No, it doesn't connect. We have more Novas, and they will buy some time at least. But that's all we have. Like MaxPax, that's all he's relying on here. Are his disruptors. And he's just lost so many probes. At this stage of the game, with the Protoss player, he needs to be up at base, up in workers, up like 10, 20 probes. That's not happening here. Oh. I Novas, yeah, they see. The connections are not good enough. Not like this. Clem, he stims out, GG gets called, and Clem, he fights back, he puts a point on the board. We're forcing the ace match. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, I had my doubts. I had my doubts about Clem turtling and recovering, but no, he was able to build up on 3 bases, build up his army. MaxPax, he tried to be aggressive. He tried to break Clem. As we were mentioning, he was trying to set up that multi-pronged aggression, pushing with his main army at the natural and coming with a backstab with a Prism. Prism got shut down early, and the aggression just fell on its face. Like the timing, the move out there just fell on its face. MaxPax, he failed to break, and then he committed into DTs. That did no damage either. Committed into Blink as well, into Shadow Stride. And GG, well played. Whew, we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 5, and we actually got to experience a 3-base economy, even a 4-base economy as well. We got there. At least once in this series. True. We did get there. And with that, we are getting into game number 5, the ace match. Let's go. Loading into the ace match here and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran, the French Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. It all ends here. It all ends on 10,000 feet. And boy, here we go. Getting into our final game of the series, final game of the broadcast. It all ends here. It all ends on a bit of a smaller map. I mean, I say smaller map. This is a map of extremes. The rush distance by ground is short, even shorter than Tourmaline, by the way. Like a very short rush distance by ground. That is true, but there are more defensive features. We have a ramp coming into the 3rd expansion. We have the 3rd base that's in front of the naturals, so there's no way to bypass the 3rd into the natural base. So this base does protect the other. We have the 4th base location, which is right next to it as well. It's all very centralized, all very condensed. So defending and turtling up is a little bit easier getting up to 4 bases. But because of that rush distance, it does mean that if you gain momentum early on, if you win a fight, then you can keep pressuring, you can rally, and you can break through. There's very little time to react, very little time to respond if you take a bad fight. But we'll see. We shall see. As once again, single gas opener. Faster economy here by Clem. MaxPax moving down to attempt to delay. Does force down the 2nd SCV. Oh, this time. This time does get his command center on time. And much faster center. And we'll see if MaxPax varies things up. That's one of the differences between MaxPax and, say, Classic and Hero. Is that Classic and Hero, they're willing to go for charge base openers, they're willing to go into Stargate base play, mix in proxies. Here, MaxPax has been playing Blink Stalker the entire series. Different variations, for sure. 3-gate Blink, 4-gate Blink, faster Robo, later Robo. But only slight variations. Once again, Twilight Council opener. Let's go. Oh, hello. Wait, what? Wait, what? We went Marine into Tech Lab, not into Marauder, into a very early add-on swap into early Cyclone. I'm assuming early Cyclone. Okay. In my mind, I was like, when we rush into a Tech Lab like this, it's usually for the Marauder. I mean, this is another way to gain map control early on and to hunt down the first gateway units. Cyclone is on the way. MaxPax will scout, will confirm the Tech Lab. Will confirm. This is reminding me a little bit of White Rabbits. If you recall, on White Rabbit, we have the early Cyclone into early Tank into early Aggression. We'll see if we go into Tank production early on again. But this looks like the same opener. Back at home, MaxPax throwing down 2 more gates, getting to 3-gate Blink, into a Robo, very safe play at a MaxPax. Sends a medevac for the drop. And yep, straight into the tank. So it's the same build. So same build that we saw on White Rabbit. At the beginning of the year, around March, this build was all the craze, if you recall. It was like around March of this year, where we saw this a lot from players like Clem, from Beyond, from Maru, from Cure. It's just hyper aggressive. That's Clem, he wants that third. I'm getting deja vu. Jumps in towards the natural. Stalkers, they respond. Locking on the worker. On the stalker. Getting onto the high ground. Harassing, yes, but no major damage yet. No probe kills either, just one. Just the one probe. And never mind, we're staying back at home. Okay, the tank does stay back. I'm curious if Clem saw an earlier third base, whether he would commit. But the tank stays back. We go for the Atom Slope into earlier stim. So just the one tank at early stim. This is actually quite greedy. Quite greedy. But so far, Clem is getting away with it. He's distracting MaxPax. Patient play by Clem. It's holding off. Again, just heavy bio production. It is so risky just opening up single tank, by the way, in TvP. Like, that's crazy. But it is working. So far. So Max actually does contain. Doesn't either Raven. Keeping Clem back. When the Stalkers are revealed, Clem is activated with our Stalkers back at home as well. Oof. Yeah, Max actually ready for him. It's ready for the drop. Does force a recall. And Clem, he's about to commit. We'll see how hard he does. Okay, no all in. Does not pull the boys. Third CC. Third CC's on the way. We're macking out of this. Let's go. Oh. Does get a third. And Clem does have this very early stim timing available to him. He's moving out. He's got stim. He's going to hit with +1 as well. +1 almost complete. Doesn't want to waste that stim. But now there's a Colossus. Tank is exposed. Uh-oh. And tank does attempt to siege. The tank is exposed, but does not get on top. Better fight for Clem. Yeah, thanks to the auto charge, he does maintain this position. Clem rotating over. That's dropping into the main as well. Bold move. He's crazy. I mean, recall's on cooldown. True. Recall is on cooldown. And is this going to be worth it? The tank goes down instantly. Dropping the main base has more potential. MaxPax has to go all the way around. Is making his way over. We have a couple of soldiers to defend. And this depowers some gateways, depowers some production, and does supply block with no major economic damage. Was this worth it? That was 12 Marines, 3 Marauders. The Raven went down, the tank went down as well. These are some pretty heavy losses for Clem. Does thankfully at least supply block MaxPax, but he's triggering a counterattack with 2 Colossus. And then remember, there's no tanks. Yeah, there's no defensive tanks back at home. Widowmines are in position. We have a couple of Vikings as well. Baiting out the shots. Baits out the mine shots. Plenty of Marauders. With a high Marauder count, Clem can hold. He can hold on. And he will. Clemmy's holding. Behind this, going into double reactor Viking production. Jesus. It's a lot of Vikings. Making 4 Vikings at a time. MaxPax forced to pull back. Forced to back off. And take a 4th. Okay, we're macroing up. Both players building up into the mid game. We mentioned this earlier, but it's quite difficult to break a turtling and defensive player here on 10,000 feet. MaxPax is trying. And he is trying. He's committing as well. Zealot's getting ready for a flank. Going for another massive warp in. Oh, but there are so many Vikings. MaxPax, he cannot break through. He doesn't try. He does not try. Clem does successfully hold. He's perfecting his army. Building up ghosts, building up Vikings, and eventually working towards liberators. Eventually. Prism is denied. Denies a prism. When it comes to MaxPax to setup, likewise, we do need more expansions. Now, unlike on Tourmaline, at least MaxPax is able to fight for some map control. It's keeping Clem busy while we build up. Meanwhile, there's that 4CC. Once we start working towards the 5th base, that's when it can get difficult to maintain, but the 4 base setup here is going to be very secure for Clem. Even now pushing across the map, he's already halfway across, or he's already across the map. He's already here. MaxPax in trouble. Okay, that's 12 Vikings. 12 Vikings, Pappy. They can choose your Colossus. Gets 1. There's 3 left. Down to 3. Zelce will flank. They engage with the army, but Colossus, they just get bullied. Zelce cannot engage. We had some nice EMPs. And Clem overwhelms. Yeah, he just overwhelms. Again, he has the superior army. Built up his Vikings, built up his Marauders. And MaxPax cannot keep up with this. Not like this. Oh my god. As the Colossus just get bullied. And with that, Clem, he just snowballs out of control. He busts into the natural, depowers some of the gateways, takes down the final Colossus, Disruptors on the way. GG gets called, and Clem, he will claim the series 3-2, becoming the WardiTV Monday number 84 champion. GG. GG, well played. As Clem, he does overwhelm. MaxPax was so much more dedicated here on 3 to 4 bases. He wanted to be active. He tried to commit with his own Colossus timing, with his own charge timing as well. With that failing him, that's when Clem snowballed out of control. He was just so reliant on Colossus, and he had a bit of a delay transition into other forms of splash damage. Whether it would have been Storm or Disruptors, it was much, much later. Never came into play. We saw that Clem, he was able to just dominate with that higher Viking count. 12 Vikings broke out. GG, well played. Again, it's one of those things where MaxPax, he was trying to end the game earlier, which is what we saw on Tourmaline as well, where both on Tourmaline and on 10,000 feet, we saw MaxPax try to end it early. Once he failed to do so, then it all kind of fell apart there for MaxPax, as Clem was successfully turtling up and building up and preserving his army over time. GG, well played. Whew, with that, congratulations, Clem, he does claim the series. He does take down at MaxPax. A shout out to MaxPax for making a series out of it and for having that back and forth and making it all the way to the ace match, but Clem comes out on top. GG, well played. And with that, that is going to be our morning broadcast for the day. Once again, we have been catching up with all the WardiTV Mondays. As you can see, we had WardiTV Monday on Thursday, Friday, and now Saturday as well. 3 days straight of WardiTV action just to catch up on our backlog. Later on tonight, we're going to be live with, as you can see here, the StarCraft Evolution League. That's going to be the SEL. That'll be later on this evening. That's going to be a show match between, I believe, Solar and Classic, a best of 7 in StarCraft Evolution. Meanwhile, we have GSL tomorrow. We have the GSL semis and grand finals tomorrow. That's going to be a very intense broadcast, of course. That's why we only have one cast tomorrow to focus completely on the GSL, so look forward to that. It's going to be an amazing one, I'm sure. Bearing in mind, we do live cast over on Soup. Soup is a Korean streaming platform. It is Africa TV rebranded. So we're going to be live on Super GSL. The rebroadcast on Twitch and YouTube will be 48 hours later. So just expect that. If you can't watch it live, if you don't want to watch on Soup, then it'll be available a couple of days later on Twitch and YouTube. Will be available. Oh. Sorry, just catching up. Just catching up. When it comes to next week's broadcast schedule, we're still catching up, mainly with Brazilian tournaments, with Amanthus, with Code for Giants Cup as well, with more SCL, with more StarCraft Evolution. But we should soon be able to catch up with all the Wardi events. Should soon. Bearing in mind that GSL CK does return in a couple of weeks' time. We have Mysos of the game that's also ongoing. We have the Euthermal TvP circuit, which we are adminning, and we have the Home Story Cup broadcast at the end of the month as well. So there's a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. We mentioned this earlier, but we are not covering Mysos of the game this year. We did cast all of it last year, but this year it's just at a really, really rough start time. It's at a very European-friendly time, not so much here for Australians. So it's not ideal for us to cover. We might cover the playoffs via replays. That we might do, but at the moment we're trying to just calm down, look after ourselves, and take it a little bit easier, Pappy. It's been an intense 6 months of StarCraft this year. No breaks, Pappy. Non-stop StarCraft. And that will continue coming into July, coming into August. Oh boy. It's a lot of StarCraft. But again, we're catching up. Otherwise, take care, everyone. Take care. Hope you enjoy the PTR that has been going live. And again, there's been a lot of testing going on. Hopefully, we do get an update regarding the PTR soon, TM, regarding the next iteration of PTR. That's my one big hope. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. We should be back tonight. That's going to be in around 7 hours. In 7 hours' time, we're going to be live with StarCraft Evolution League. Otherwise, we'll be live tomorrow with the GSL. Until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. If you want to follow us, you can do so via all the socials, ! socials in the chat for links to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all things StarCraft, all things CranKy Duckling, I should say. And likewise, you can also support us via Patreon if you wish. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments directly. It funds the Sparkling Tunic Cup alongside the Duckling Open and the Swan Open as well, all funded via Patreon. All funded. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. And we'll see you guys tonight for some StarCraft Evolution League. See you then. See you then, Pappy. Until then, ciao, ciao. Hasta luego.